What's up? This is Nate with New Noise Magazine, and we are here with Alexi from Children of Bodom at Mayhem in Atlanta. How are you doing today?
I'm doing, I just woke up, so I'm like totally out of it, but it's all good.
And you guys had an off day yesterday, right?
No, actually, we did a headline show with Bodom and the other. Well, actually, there was like 9 bands altogether, but yeah, so no day off.
No day off for you. So where was that headlining show?
That was in Louisville, Kentucky.
And was it a good show?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, a lot of people, so it was a good crowd. So yeah, it was good.
Excellent. You're doing that you're doing that the other off days too, then, right?
Yeah, not
the tour as well?
Not all of them, but we've had like maybe 3 headline shows so far, and after May we're gonna do a few.
Yeah, you're going in Nashville, right where I am anyway.
Actually, yeah, that's right.
And you just had a new record come out, Halo of Blood, and that came out back in June in the States. How has the fans been responding to the new material live on Mayhem?
So far, it's been really good, and it's actually really cool that you can tell the difference from the first day of Mayhem to like today. Where people actually really do recognize the new songs a little bit more. I mean, we only do one anyway, because we only get to play like 35 minutes, but the response is really good. So and it's gotten better, better by day.
Do you get longer sets on the headlining tour that you're doing, or the off dates with the Bodom?
Yeah, we played 60 minutes yesterday, and it depends, but yeah, definitely.
Okay, and so how are you working out? Because it's the 8th studio album you guys have put out. So how do you work out your set for Mayhem? If you don't want to give it away, you don't have to. I don't want to ruin it for people. Spoiler, but no.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna give it away, but it's not easy, that's for sure. 8 studio albums in 35 minutes. It's challenging, that's for sure. But we have like a couple of different set lists that we change them around, just mix it up a little bit. But we try to do like on this tour, we do like mostly it's just old stuff. And like I said, just one new song, because the album just came out, so, and plus, it's better to play old stuff, so at least people know those songs right now.
And as far as the new album goes, it's gotten some pretty good reviews, and a lot of people have said it's sort of a return to your roots. Some people didn't like Blood Drunk, in terms of like there's always critics, right? But do you feel like it's sort of a return to your roots? Was that what you were going for?
No, well, that's not what I was going for. I wasn't really going for anything. I never do. I want to start writing music. I try to keep my head empty and just not plan anything, not think about like what we should sound like, just kind of do everything spontaneously and see what happens. That's basically the only way for me to write music that's coming straight from the heart, and that's like genuine. But yeah, I guess that there's a lot of old school Children of Bodom elements in it, but that there's a lot of new stuff into, like just new elements as well. So, but yeah, a lot of people have told me that, but it's usually been a compliment. So as long as it's a compliment, then all good.
Very cool, very cool. Well, in terms of the writing, you wrote this over a few months, and you went in the studio and hammered out all the lyrics all at once for this, right? And how long were you in the studio recording the new record before?
We did like 6 weeks of. Thanks, dude. 6 weeks of recording and 10 days to make. No, 2 weeks of mixing, I think. Yeah.
So that's pretty fast for a modern metal record. Did you do a lot of pre-production, or did you just sort of go in and figure it out?
Yeah, well, we always have everything ready when we hit the studio. Like everything's well rehearsed and everything's like written. So we don't need to fuck around in the studio for such a long time. So, for us it's always been like that. We're pretty quick when we're making records. So yeah.
And on Mayhem then, how have you been finding it in terms of the tour itself? I know you said fans were responding pretty well to the set as a whole, but has it been a good experience for you guys being out this summer?
Crowd-wise, yeah, it's been really good. It's like awesome fucking crowd, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to walk fucking 2 miles every day to find a shower. But what are you gonna do, right?
So they don't have them by your buses at all or anything?
Uh-huh.
Catering's good though?
Yeah, it's far, but
They ought to have go-karts for you guys, like little golf carts. You could just.
I should have bought one before the tour.
I feel like they ought to rent them for all the buses. So, in terms of other bands on the tour that you've been hanging out with, who have you been excited to get to tour with this summer?
Well, there's a lot of bands that we've toured with before, which is cool to see those guys like Mastodon and Amon Amarth. We, toured many times with those guys, just for example. So it's good to see those guys for sure. But like I said, I don't mean to repeat myself, but both those guys, they play on main stage, but just very far, we don't I don't really get to hang out with them every night, but it's a long tour anyway, so
And what have you got planned once you finish up with your off dates at the end, or with your extra dates at the end with Monomarth and Battlecross?
After that we go home for 2 weeks, and then we have Japan, and then we have European tour, which is European tour is 9 weeks long or something. So that's basically gonna take till the end of the year, and then next year it's same shit. We basically have a year and a half of touring lined up. So
already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're busy, but that's good.
Yeah, busy is good because it keeps the paychecks rolling in, right? You gotta fund it.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, in terms of just a few more questions, but in terms of the new album and people buying records nowadays, how have you guys? Is there any sort of conscious effort from you to try and make albums that, not musically, but packaging wise and bonus things and other things like that, to get fans to actually go out and buy the record versus pirating it?
Yeah, well, I think you kind of need to do that nowadays. Well, we had some sort of we had this making of thingy that came with the CD, and I think I'm not sure, but I think we'll put out a digipack pack and stuff like that. That's gonna have bonus tracks in it, and so there's definitely gonna be something extra, for sure.
Do you feel like it's becoming harder to be a touring musician, or do you feel are you at the level where it's not affecting you as much?
Well, I'm not too worried about it, because you can't fight it. I think that I think the music scene, is still doing pretty good, especially metal scene, which is really good. That metal people in general, they still like to buy CDs and they like to get the real thing, which is definitely awesome. Yeah, you just gotta roll with it, man. Because like I said, there's no use trying to fight it, the whole internet thing, or bitching and crying about it. It is what it is,
Okay, and then you still do your hate crew deathwear, right? You still have that clothing line going. Do you have any plans to sort of expand what's going on with that, or are you just going to keep it going?
As far as I know, I'm not really in charge, of that whole thing. But it's still happening for sure.
Okay, and then just one last question: goals for before you record your next album. What do you hope that Halo of Blood? How big do you want it to get? Do you care if it gets big? Are you more interested in just melting people's faces and touring a lot?
Well, of course I care, but at the end of the day, it's all about just as long as we get to tour as long as possible, we get to make more music, that's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, So, but like I said, we already have a year and a half of touring lined up, so that should be good. We get to go to like we always do, we do the whole fucking planet basically, so it's good.
So good times all around. Get to go sightseeing in between shows, hopefully.
Yeah, sometimes it depends, but I've already seen so many fucking places, well, basically all of them, that usually it's whenever there's a day off or traveling or whatever, you just try to rest as much as possible, just so that you'll feel better for the next show and stuff. But yeah, it's fun for sure.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you very much for doing this interview today. I really appreciate it.
No problem, dude.